Hi everybody, this is my video about my Samsung refrigerator here. I've got the information in front of you, but in case you can't see it, that right there at the top is the model number, RS265TDBP. This is a side-by-side model. I'm just going to pull out here, and I've got both sides open, and I've already taken off this panel here. And what I want to talk about is the problem I have about 2 to 4 times a year where this blocks up with ice. So I have this panel off right here. I'll show you how I took that off in a second. But there is a big chunk of ice in here, and this basically stops working. It was not focusing here. It was 55 degrees in here until I did this, and it's been already thawing out for 12 hours, and so far that's still left. I have towels here in the bottom to collect the water, but Samsung has barely refused to do anything about this. This is a known issue with their models, apparently. We had a mechanic out here the first time, or a repairman, and they took this off and found the ice. But there's a screw up here underneath this. Is this the right one? Yeah, this plate right here. There's a screw underneath you need to take out. There's a screw in this hole, which, by the way, I also had to wait 12 hours because this was a block of ice. This was a block of ice, and everything in here was frozen. And then there's also a screw at the bottom on this side. So that's one side. Then you have the other side. You have to remove one screw down here. Again, one screw from up here. And then one screw from underneath the plate right here. So, and this just pulls out when you do that. Now, because of the ice though, it always seems to stick to things and rip this, it's ripping this this stuff apart. This refrigerator has had this issue multiple times. I've learned how to do it. What I do is I take this apart. Now let's just see, if you look down in here, we'll see if I can get this. This is where the fan is, and this is where all the stuff blows out. Now sometimes this also builds up. I can't get my hand in there, but this also builds up with ice in here, and then you need to make sure you get all that ice out or the fan cannot spin. Or you'll plug it in and you'll find that it makes a lot of noise, and then it eventually grinds stuff and it stops. But this right here is just a solid block of ice. So what I do is I take this off, and then I have my wife's blow dryer here, and I turn it on. See right here, I've got it on hot, and I turn it on low because I don't want it too high. I don't want to melt the plastic, which you can also do with this apparently. And I just slowly melt this out. So this is the day after Christmas. We had everything heat up here, and we couldn't store any food. Luckily it's cold outside, so I could put it outside. But this is a major issue with these Samsung refrigerators. I do not recommend them. Samsung, when I called them up, they were like, you did something wrong, you blocked the vents or something. I mean, there was nothing in this refrigerator essentially, except for one thing up top. And because we're about to head out, and they refuse to do anything about it. So I'm going to call Samsung out and say that they're not really doing a good job with their warranty. Now this refrigerator is older. It's if you can't tell here, I'm going to go back to the manufacturing date here. It says right there, manufactured 2012. So this is about a little over 5 years old, but this has been a problem for the last 3 or 4 years. We do this all the time. It's not always this bad, but it's also at times been worse. So that's my talking here of our issue with our Samsung side-by-side refrigerator. If you have any questions or comments, or just curious about what I do to fix this so I don't have to buy a new refrigerator or call in a repairman, just let me know and I'll walk you through it hopefully. All right, thank you. All right, so I now have all the ice out from this area. And I think the issue with this refrigerator is that this pipe right here doesn't have any sort of insulation on it, and it stays cold too long. So it just slowly builds up with any humidity, and it builds up and it builds up, and eventually it builds up this entire area, and then some of the ice falls into here, and then it just stops working. So that's what I think is going on. I think this could be solved probably if I put maybe some insulation or something around this, but I don't know if that's going to break anything else. Also, when you're working with this, what you're going to want to do, let me just grab my blow dryer here. So I'm just using a standard blow dryer, and you'd want to blow it down in here. I'm going to turn this on real quick, and you want to make sure that this is spinning freely. I've had it too many times where I've gotten this back together and I realized this is not spinning. So I'm going to show you here. See how that was spinning nice and freely? That's what you want, because otherwise you're going to get this back together and you're going to have the exact same issue in about a month. So that is how you fix this. I used my blow dryer to dry, to melt the ice here. You don't want to keep it on too long, because all this stuff, I don't know if it's really meant to deal with heat, like all these wires and everything. You don't want to start melting them, and you don't want to use anything hot. You don't want to use a hot gun or something that's hotter than a blow dryer. And as I said, I used it for maybe 10 minutes off, and then I would heat it, or 10 minutes on and then 5 minutes off, and I kept going back and forth with that. So it took about an hour and a half, I guess, to clear this out, once I was able to get all these screws out that I showed you before. So that's my video on this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give a thumbs up and like it if you can. Thank you.